Guys, Adam here, Blackfyre Productions. I am back with another Toy Tuesday. So today's Toy Tuesday is another recent Hot Toys figure that I have picked up, which is the TMS 015, the Mandalorian Child. It is the deluxe version, so I'm stoked to open this bad boy up. I have already sort of peeked inside to see what was inside, because, well, why couldn't you? Or who couldn't, I should say. It's just super exciting and such a nice kit. But last week I did the heavy Mandalorian, or heavy inventory Mandalorian, so today, because I received these guys at the same time, I thought I would do this guy and show you the contents of what's inside the box and go from there. But yeah, so big shout out to Brendan from Fanboys in Orillia, Ontario, Canada, for getting me this piece here. He's usually my go-to for my Hot Toys collectibles. So thank you, Brendan. Cheers. Definitely appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump into the box and let's see what is on the inside. So here we are with the box for the Mandalorian and the Child, or Grogu, TMS 015 deluxe version. You can see that there is the nice black finish on there with a nice picture of the Mandalorian in his Beskar suit and the Child in the hover pram. You have the box wrap there with a nice photo up close personal of the Mandalorian shooting his blaster rifle, and then you also have the side wrap image there, standing with the container with the Beskar in it. Doesn't quite make sense that he has this, because that's how he gets his suit, but hey, either way, it looks cool nonetheless. You have the credits not on the back as per normal, with the silver inlay like you see on the front, and then just more from the side. You open up the box and let's see what it has on the inside as soon as I get it off here. I have already opened up the plastic and taken it off, so I don't have to do that for you guys. So you have a nice picture of when Grogu is met by the Mandalorian for the very first time. We're supposed to be that, but again, wrong armor. That's okay, because it's still very cool. It could be just an affectionate moment between the two at some point. You take that off, nice little insert, and you come into a whole entire box of goodies. You got the instructions, you got your accessories pieces there. You got two different Grogus, one that is magnetized in the hover pram, the top of the hover pram. Like, there's just so much stuff that is happening with this. And then you can take this lid off if it wants to come off. And here we go. I'll give you a better look at everything inside. So there you go. That's everything inside. You can take that off, and there's even more, another layer of goodies as I reach across. Yeah, another layer of goodies with the jetpack, the stand, and everything else. Just so much stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the accessories, which there's a ton, and go over those, and then go over the figure in 1 second, or I guess in this case figures, because there are technically 3 of them with the 2 Grogus as well. So I'll lay that all out, clean this area up, and we'll be back in 1 second. Well, that took me about 5 minutes to unpack everything, and that's being conservative. There is a ton of stuff that comes in this deluxe kit, hence why it is the deluxe set. You have everything from the hover pram with Grogu to the whistling bird effects, it shooting, or it just being loaded, like just a ton. A nice display base. Light up box here with the Beskar cubes, just so much. So I'm going to start off, obviously, the less important stuff. Obviously, you have your posable stand and your grip there if you want it. You have your base with the printed effects, like it's textured effects on there. And then you have the side base for Grogu as well in his hover pram. So normally they were showing it on the right hand side of the base for the Mandalorian, but I'm going to put it on his, well, I guess it would be shown on his left-hand side, but if you're looking at the package, it's on the right, or the pictures. But I'm gonna put it on his actual, like the Mandalorian's right-hand side, because that's usually in like the teaser photos and stuff like that, where the hovercraft was located when you're looking at it. So I might do a shot with sunset and have those guys walking. This stone here is actually where it just sort of, it's a plug in there, and you just pull it out, and then you take your acrylic rod and you can just push it in there, and away you go. But I'm not going to do that yet because I don't know how I want to pose him in my display shelf yet. I've got to rearrange some stuff. I'm thinking a lot of these accessories, like the hoverpram stuff, I'm going to do with the Durasteel Mando, just because I think it's appropriate. But and really I do like the armor on the coloring on the Durasteel Mando more, because it's more of a variety and such. But I'm not sure. Obviously, not all of the effects are going to be used with the Durasteel, so I'll figure out what I want to do with the Beskar version. But going from there, you have a shoulder pauldron with the Mythosaur symbol in there. So let's see how close I can get. Well, it's still in focus, so. You can see the weathering into the recessed areas there. Just a tint of blackish color to give it that definition. So really cool. You have his grappling hook, which he uses to shoot at somebody. Wouldn't that be something if I broke it right now? Because it is super tiny. But yeah. And that plugs into the right arm, which we're going to play with some of the accessories and the figure itself. Once I get into that, you have his blaster rifle here, which plugs into the shoulder, left shoulder. There's a little spot to plug the strap in, right there, like so. You can see it. This actually, the targeting scope comes out of that joint, so you can use it for like scoping out his opponents or targets, and then that also for putting in the disintegration cartridges. And then there's a strap on the back of Mando that will wrap around and will hold it in place. You have a total of 4 right hands, the 2 that come stock, which is like the relax pose, a fist, and then like a holding hand for, like, I want to say the dagger, maybe a fob or something like that. But yeah, you can see the weathering on there is nice coloring, weathering, everything else is fantastic. And then you obviously have his right hand trigger. And then you have 3 left hands, so you got the relaxed, you got a closed fist, and then you have also the left hand trigger as well. You have his blaster pistol. Reminds me of almost like a old German style pistol. I think I mentioned that when I did my Durasteel unboxing as well. You have the lone Beskar piece. I love how you can see like the lines in the Beskar there. Just super cool. And they definitely pay attention to the detail. Very cool. You have the thermal detonator, which will clip into his belt. Nice gloss effect on the red light, and that just is like a felt backing, so it doesn't felt backing there, so it doesn't chip the paint and such. This here is, I think it's supposed to be a light, if I can remember correctly from the show, and you basically plug out the one side and you can put that into the head insert. This is something that I don't quite understand, but it can be used with the Beskar version of Mando, I guess, in a shot. Too bad they don't have the armor. I would love to see the armor figure in this. It'd be super awesome. I'd be all over. And so yeah, so you have basically when the armor is showing him the new Beskar armor that she'll make for him and such. And then you got his vibro blade, vibro dagger. Just looks like, look at all the chipping and everything down there on that handle. It looks like it's seen some use, to say the least. You got the loaded whistling bird effect. Let me see if I can get that there for you. So that goes into his left hand. You can take out the emptied whistling bird effect and put that in there. You have the tracking fob, right? Then we got the necklace with the mythosaur on there. Come on. Right there. It's tiny, 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 tiny. And then obviously flamethrower effect. Again, it shows that it's on his right arm, but I'm pretty sure I can use it on his left arm. Like in the one shot that I'm thinking about doing in my head, where he's saving Grogu from the Empire and the remnant post or base, he is exiting, hanging onto Grogu, and like two stormtroopers approach him, and basically he shoots the one with the blaster, turns around, shoots the other one with the flamethrower effect, and I'm pretty sure it comes out of the left hand, and I'm pretty sure you can still use it out of the left hand on here, even though the instructions say it's on the right. So obviously the shooting whistling bird effects as well. All right, you can see at the very tips there, the whistling birds coming out of them and such. And it just plugs in where the other hand effects in the actual figure is located. You have his backpack, or his jump pack, I guess, right, with a nice silver paint application on there. Super awesome. And then also the flame effects here, which just plug in, get in there. Like so. There you go. Take those out. Again, the bin holding the Beskar, it does light up. You can pop this part off. That goes across. And then you can unscrew where the batteries go into, and there are 3 batteries to come with it. And the switch is under here as well. These just, how I did it was I went in from the bottom and then sort of push them up and out. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, who knows, but yeah, that's basically what I did. Get in there. There you go. So yeah, so that's, you can put it in there, and there is the light on the inside. And then you have the stack of Beskar with the magnetic stack as well, so it doesn't fall all over the place. Lastly, you got the hover pram with another Grogu. So that one is magnetic, and it's literally like the top portion of them. The magnets under there. You have his blanket as well, and you can see the inside of the hover pram there. All the texture, paint chipping, and everything else, and so he just sort of sits on there and hangs onto the side, like so. Right? And then you also have the top, which just slides on like that. There's your hover pram. And then you can see underneath is also where the acrylic peg goes into. And then you have the Grogu himself, the child. The only articulation in this is a little bit in the head. So my first image idea that I have for this is the flamethrower, like I said, where he's saving him from the base. And basically he has Grogu in the right hand side wrapped in the blanket because he's all like tired and stuff. And yes, they give you like a little J-cloth style blanket for him, and he's sort of like cradling him like a football as he's shooting the flamethrower. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Try is keyword. We'll see how my photo turns out, but yeah, I'm gonna do that with the flamethrower effect and everything else. If you want to put the mythosaur necklace on there, you just pop the head off, and then you take the mythosaur necklace, put it over the peg, and pop it back on. So yeah, the texture on this is actually quite good. You can feel the texture printed right onto the hard plastic. It's very nice for plastic. Like, I honestly thought when I saw the original images that Hot Toys shared that it was a cloth, and that there might have been a little bit more articulation in this, like it would be like a little minifigure, but it's not. And that's okay, because it looks like with, you know, Ahsoka and the others, the speeder bike, with the Scout Trooper and stuff like that, that there's going to be different versions of Grogu to come around or to go to collect. And each one is posed slightly differently. Like the Ahsoka one is like him holding up his hand, like he's using the Force and pushing the rock to her. So yeah, so it'll be interesting. You can play around with those and yeah, do your shots or setups however you want. So that is all the different accessories minus the actual figure himself. So I'm going to put these accessories away and then show you what the figure looks like. And then I'll sort of play around, maybe add some accessories on to him and show you everything on him. Not everything, but a couple of different accessories on him. So here we are with the figure himself, Mandalorian, Din Djarin. Either way, the Mandalorian. That's what his title is. I got Grogu as well as some other stuff that I'm going to be using to play around with him. So you got a couple of different hands, flame effects, blast pistol, blaster rifle, and the thermal detonator that I plan on doing a photo here this evening with at the time of filming this. But yeah, so let's take a look at him and the weathering and everything else. His articulation. We'll start with the cape. It's not wired or anything, but you can take like a paper clip or something, hook it into like the belt or something, and have it sort of come off to the side and drape it, and that way it will sort of give you like some movement look to it or some fluidity looking motion to it, I guess. Head, obviously, you have the double ball joint there. You can go down pretty good and back pretty good there. It's really good for if you're gonna do like him jumping with his jetpack on. So arms wise, go to about there. You can probably get it a little bit higher, but again, he has that suit on underneath that makes it a little bit harder and tighter to move this guy. Oh my gosh, super tight, super tight. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do it any more than that. I know I can do it more than that, but I don't know if I want to because I don't want to break him already, because that would be absolutely terrible. So you can see that he has his bend there. There's the about 90-degree bend is what I got, maybe a little bit more. He does come out as well, but yeah, a little bit of a butterfly joint in there. And then obviously these will come off. So this is just Velcroed on, and that's where you'll replace the second shoulder pauldron. I'm pretty sure all this is Velcroed on. I've seen people take apart and take the fat suit out of him, but I'm not going to do that at risk it, because I don't think it's super hard. I just don't think he looks too thin at that point in time. But yeah. Either way, you do have some ab crunch, but the armor and everything does get in the way and restricted a little bit, so you can see the distance from there. These are pretty cool. So these are the cartridges. You can take those out and put those in the blaster rifle. Like I said, it goes on into that slot right where my thumb is. But yeah, such a cool little weapon. Awesome. Pouches are hard molded plastic. You can put the tracking fob into the belt there. There's enough space. That's where they suggest it. I think, yeah, these are soft. Interesting. Leg motion wise, you get pretty good leg motion going up, almost straight 90 degrees. I'm not going much further than that with a bend at the leg. I can go back pretty far actually with that. Let's show you this side, and then you can come up, and he has the ball joint in there as well, so you can turn and everything else. But yeah, side to side, obviously. Wrist motion is as per normal. You got the peg in there that's like a ball joint, so you can sort of like flip it around and turn it and everything else. So, but yeah, so that's the articulation. Painting wise, I almost want to say it's like a gunmetal gray. It's not quite a bright silver, but it is definitely a nice metallic sheen to it. You can see the weathering and everything on there. And just super cool. But I definitely like the look of the Durasteel more just because there's more variety in the look and it's just not plain silver. All the details of, like, you know, his wrist guards and the whispering birds with the control panel, computer. I think he uses that to unlock his, is it his ship? Is that what he does? The Razor Crest? That's where you plug in the blaster rifle, and then I'll show you some flame effects, stuff like that. I'm going to start adding some accessories to them and then show you what it looks like with those. And here we are with the Beskar Mando with some accessories added on there. So I threw on the flamer, or the flame effect from his flamer, and I tried to sort of put him into a similar posture as the shot where he's escaping the Imperial compound. Or the Remnant Empire compound. Grogu's up there all wrapped up in a bundle with the blaster pistol under the right hand and such. I hooked up his blaster rifle onto the back and put the third thermal detonator down there like so. You can see the this is the part here I was talking about earlier where it's like the whistling birds accessory can come in out of there. So that is the general idea. What I'm thinking for the photo, I'm gonna try to just sort of like get this, is something like that. I think I gotta tweak his head a little bit here. And then maybe straighten up his arm more so it's elongated. But the photo that I want, I'm gonna set up a background. I have a backdrop already, and I'm gonna try to set up a room similar to what would be in the Imperial compound with a bunch of the stuff that I have laying around my house. There's a ton of stuff, so yeah, I don't know exactly what I'll do, but I'll figure it out here momentarily, because there was like a doorway behind him that he came out of when the two stormtroopers started to attack him. So yeah, but that is TMS 015 Deluxe Beskar Mando and Child from Hot Toys. Let me know what you guys think of these reviews, toy reviews or figure reviews. I plan on doing more, and obviously I'm still doing some photography, as well as all my other hobby stuff that I've been doing. If you want to help support the channel, you can check out the Patreon link in the description of the video down below. All the support is greatly appreciated and allows us to continue doing what we are doing here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.